guys, so I've decided to do a video kind of talking about some things that I think might be helpful for new expecting mommies or new mommies that's on the search for their first reborn or silicone baby. And hopefully this video don't get too long, but since I know that it's going to be kind of long, I figured I would prep my setting with the camera rolling. So everything is not going to be organized and in order as we talk. But let's get started really quickly. Oh my gosh. Her legs is so cute. The detailing in the front of her legs. I really, really love that. When she repainted them, she matched them perfectly to her skin tone. But she came back, her shading on this leg right here is really dark right there, and then on her ankle. But other than that, her everything is good, and she's still such a cute baby. Some of the things that, as a new artist, the first thing, new mommy, first thing you want to just know is what you're actually looking for and what your preference is. Like open eye, closed eyes, open fist, closed fist, that type stuff. Okay, let's take that you know what you're looking for. Now you're searching for an artist. You don't have to always go with the most expensive artist. I've found that though they are very good and profound in their work, some of them also are great photographers. And when I say that, is that some of them does great photoshopping and editing to their photos, and therefore you may not get exactly what you see. And I'm not saying that about all top artists or nothing like that. I'm just saying I have seen that happen. But what I'm saying is just make sure that you get to see some non-edited photos when it comes to your baby, and some up-close photos. Artists should be willing to show you up-close photos. My thing is hands and feet, so I like to see the feet up close. I like detail in my babies, so I like nice modeling. Black babies and biracial and Caucasian babies all have different types of modeling. So with my black babies, I don't expect a whole lot of heavy modeling because our babies are not like that when they're born or at any time. There's areas in our babies that, like around their ears and such, gets a little darker, but not too dark. So I look for those type things. I am particular about the rooting of my baby's hair, too. So you want to make sure that you're not the hairline, that you can pull your baby head up. You don't want to, if the artist is taking a lot of pictures with headbands around the front of the hair, you want to ask to see it without the headband on, because that's how a lot of artists hide their bad root work around the edges of the hair. You also want to get close pictures like from the top of the head, because you don't want pluggy hair, which is pluggy hair, and I didn't know what that meant for a long time. Pluggy hair is when they do like 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 strands of hair in one hole, and it just looks like a clump of hair, and it's very messy, and you can't root it or part it. Now, this artist is a very elite rooter for the most part, and so you can't really expect to get this kind of rooting on every baby that you get, because not every artist can root that well, which it doesn't really make. It makes a big deal when you spend a lot of money, yes, but I have some that's not rooted exactly like this, but very well. I also, when I was new and first started collecting, before I knew how to weigh a baby or was afraid to take a baby apart, I always asked them to show me them in just their body. And even though I'm going to put this back on her, because I brought her another onesie, but I like the way this one fit. And this baby is about 19 inches long, by the way. And she probably weighed about 6.5, 7 pounds because I got her weighted super heavy. But this is her in just her onesie. And when I see my baby weighted in just their onesie, it definitely tells me a lot about how my baby is probably weighted. If they have too much fluff in them, they don't really have beads in them too much. And you can't really tell exactly until you actually get your baby as far as how heavy it is, etc., etc. But for me, this used to tell me a lot about how the artist was weighting the baby. Also, when they give me the weight, like if I got a 19-inch baby and it only weighed 3 pounds, then, and it's got like chunky legs, I'm thinking, that baby's not properly weighted. Because an average newborn baby is born about 19 inches long, and 3 pounds is more preemie. But nevertheless, you can't control what size the artist weight the baby. That is, you know, up to the artist. So that is something that you have to take or leave unless the artist asks you. They may try to charge you extra for more weight because weighting costs so much. So that is something you can't hold against the artist. Even the way they weight them technically is not, because you're actually paying for the art in the baby, not so much of how they're weighted. But for me, at this point in my collecting, I weight my own babies over anyway. Like this baby, I weighted her. That body that she has on her, I bought that body. Because that artist cannot weigh a baby right. We've tried several times and it just, she doesn't weigh them good. She paints fabulous and root fabulous, but she can't weigh them and she don't get the magnet right for the most part. Like, as beautiful as she is, she barely can take a magnet because she has a weak magnet in her, but the magnet is secured in her very well, and I'm afraid to try to take it out because I don't want to damage her face or anything like that, so I just leave it, so she's just not a passive baby. But that's great and fine because she happened to be, in my opinion, so freaking adorable that she doesn't really need a passive. Now, what did I do? Did I not bring the brush down? But yeah, so like I said, it's, you know, it's a lot of little things that you might want to look for. You want to ask questions like, what do you weight your babies with? Do you seal your babies? Are your babies shiny? I don't like shiny babies. Some people might like shiny babies, but I don't like shiny babies. So you want to look for all these different things, and you just want to make sure things that matter to you, you're going to get. Ask them, do they stand by their work? What's their policy if something is wrong when you get your baby? But the best thing that I've noticed is to look at their previous customers and look at how their babies look after they get them on their camera, because a lot of artists use very fancy cameras because they want their presentation to look nice, which is what they're supposed to do. I mean, nothing wrong with that. But most of us collectors, like myself, I'm recording with my cell phone. And so when you get a picture. Hang on, guys. When you see my baby's pictures, they're not edited. You'll know if they're edited because I'll tell you it's in black and white, or if, you know, you can tell if I got it in cartoon color. But other than that, and that's something I just started trying to see if I could do. But as far as like removing things and trying to cover up things, that's not what I do. In my videos, I try to do as close as possible so that you can see my babies, So, and I think most collectors, because we're not trying to sell our babies, we show them for what they are. And I think as a new mommy, you get to see that artist, what that artist's work looks like more so with a collector. So I always look for a collector that has a particular artist that I'm interested in work. And that's how I determine. But I am like a little prey. I'll say a stalker maybe. I will watch an artist's work for a very long time before I go with them. I've gotten more trained in how to search out a good quality baby over time, and what artist is using good products, in my opinion, because I've seen tons of babies now at this point come through here, and some of them never made it on camera on my videos or anything because I've sent them back, and some are from very top elite artists that charge thousands of dollars for their reborns, and I've sent their babies back. So like I said, price does not always automatically mean that they're the best. But some of them can justify what they're charging. I've also had people tell me that they've bought from very elite artists and their work was not quality and they did not stand by their work. And I'm not talking about Marlon. When I say that, I'm talking about other artists. Because I know it's been an incident, you know, brewing with Marlon, but that's not who I'm talking about right there. When I said that statement, the thing about me is that I don't like to call out people names and stuff, so I'm not going to say, but I do on my channel. I'm kind of like the whistleblower. I kind of like say stuff that other people probably wouldn't say, because they're afraid of what people are going to think or say about them, or they're going to get dislikes on their videos. And me, I don't really care, because I like to try to keep my videos as honest, in my opinion, as I can. And I think I have a lot of subscribers that sub to me for that reason. So some of you guys may not like that, and then that just means that this might not be the channel for you. But that's what I do. But anyway, getting on to the purpose of the video is, see, now I'm bonding with her so much doing this to her hair and stuff, and my mom is still talking about she wants this baby. She's not going to get her because I've done her hair now. And I just remembered why I was so in love with this baby. She has great hair, and she's such a pretty baby. So, anyway, oh, wait, this one came out. So, yeah, yeah, you want to check those things out before you just run and buy a baby. On eBay, even though eBay, you're liable to get more disappointments than buying from a artist that you know who you're buying from, because on eBay you don't really know who you're buying from for the most part, unless you follow that artist's work on Facebook as well as on eBay. You're more protected on eBay than you are just buying from a regular artist, unless it's an artist that's been in the community for a long time. And most of those artists pretty much value their reputation, so they're going to back their work up. So you're kind of safe with some of those, safer with those than others. But eBay, you're safe because eBay will protect you as a buyer. They will protect you. If your baby is not as described, they will make you get that seller give you your money back. So I feel pretty safe taking a chance on eBay as a buyer. Not so much as a seller, but as a buyer I do. So despite the things that you hear about eBay, getting horrible babies, the best thing about it is that your money is more protected there. So don't be afraid of eBay. If you see something that that piques your eye, go for it. But if you buy from another artist and you want your baby to feel like a real baby and stuff like that, tell them that you want your baby weighted like a real baby and you want them to have a realistic weight. Ask them, do they weight their babies light or do they weight their babies heavy? Do they let the mommies choose if they want a heavy baby or a light baby? Ask them questions. Don't be afraid. And if the artists feel like you're bothering them and it's a pain for you to be asking them questions, then you know what? Then maybe they don't deserve your money, because it's not like these babies are $50 or $20. You're talking about hundreds of dollars that you've worked probably a whole 2 weeks to get that one amount. Some people have to work almost a month before they can come up with that amount of money. So they're not cheap enough for them to be like, I made this baby here, buy it, and don't ask me no questions. That's not gonna fly. You should be able to ask questions. Whew, my back is hurting, Serenity. So, yeah. It's the first time I ever put her head in all these little pigtails, and she's a small baby. She's not a toddler or anything, and I kind of gave her like a big girl personality, but she's really a small baby. But I really am liking her and all these little pigtails. Look at this. My baby got a head full of bows. Look at that. That is so funny. I've never did that. And with my real babies, I never really put them in like tons of bows and stuff. But I think that's cute. So, gosh, I was gonna put her on this little sleeper, but now I don't know if I want to do that. Ooh, this is 20 minutes long. Okay, so yeah, so anyway, Reborns, ask for pictures, close-ups. If it's open eye, ask if they use glass eyes or plastic eyes. Make sure you ask what they're weighted with. The most popular thing to be weighted with is glass beads and polyfill. If they use poly pellets to me, I don't like the feel of it. Maybe some other people do, but I don't. The body, I don't like jointed bodies too much, unless they just absolutely have true 3/4 legs that will really shorten them on a full body. So normally I like full non-jointed legs. She does have 3/4 jointed arms because she has 3/4 arms, and so she has to, but I like so that I can just put her on a diaper. So I asked that. I asked to see them in just their cloth body because a baby should be able to look good without clothes. A lot of times we get caught up in how cute they look in their clothes. I look at their hair. I want close pictures of their hair without headbands. And I want to see their babies in other people's nurseries. And so that is some of the things I do. Silicone babies, I go a little deep. You want to see how smooth it is. Do they have air bubbles? What about the seams? Where are the seams? What are they poured in? They should be poured in platinum silicone, not tin silicone. Equiflex 20 is my best feel. Everything else, I haven't really felt Equiflex 30 to know. I've heard that partial babies in Equiflex 30 is okay. I prefer Equiflex 20 because Equiflex 20 I found, even though they all feel differently, depending on the artist, it still has been my very best feel of silicone. Dragon Skin is very tough and thick, and so I am not really into that. So I want close-up of the pictures. I want to make sure that they're smooth, make sure that they're, what are they painting with, what is their policy if the baby has any peeling, any tears. I want to make sure that under the arms is, reinforced so that they don't, it's really strong, so it's not so easy to tear or rip once I get the baby. What else? As far as the painting and stuff, close-ups, see how well blended it is, depending on how much money you're paying. If you're paying anywhere from $1,500 and up, I think the baby should be pretty well painted. What else? I even want to see the private areas because I like them to look realistic, smooth. Some people add the private areas on afterwards, so you can even have seams there. So I just check a lot of things out with the silicones. My standards are less on silicone painting sometimes, depending on the price range and the artist, because I know that when you go to getting into perfection, you're going to have to be dealing with more experienced artists, or more, you're going to go into run into more money, but you're still going to have maybe some flaws here or there, or some imperfections, I should say, but you should not have as many as you would on a cheap baby. So yeah. So anyway, this is going to conclude this video. I will continue to talk about different things, as I know I have some new mommies and some mommies that are trying to find that perfect artist that is watching the channel. And so I will, if you have any questions or any things that you want to ask me or want me to talk about in my upcoming videos, let me know, and I will answer those questions in my next videos. But this is it, because I know it's been a very long video, and I need to straighten out my mess as I've gotten her together. She probably would look cuter in more big girl clothes than a sleeper, now that since I put the little bows in her head. But oh well, I wasn't expecting to put all those bows in there, but it just got fun. So see you guys later. Bye bye.